NCAD is one of the most prestigious institutes in asphalt research and education, and that gave me and many others a lot of great opportunities to interact with state highway agencies and different stakeholders in the asphalt pavement industry. Those interactions are very important because that allows me to better understand the problem they are facing so that I can strategically adjust my research game plan to address those problems from the research perspective.
Most people recognize that we are seeing either more frequent or heavier storms and things like that. I mean, you think about Hurricane Michael that hit Florida a few years ago, Hurricane Sally that came right up through the Mobile area and dumped torrential rain. That has a heavy impact on our pavement systems, which is really important because our pavements, they're not just the roads we drive on, they're the way that your Amazon package gets to you or the food gets to your grocery store. It's the way that you go visit your family. It's the way you get to the hospital. It impacts everything. And so we have multiple projects ongoing, both here in Alabama as well as nationally, looking at the impacts of these heavy storms, heavy precipitation, things like that, and examining ways that we can adapt our infrastructure to be able to withstand those types of disruptions more regularly.
One of my primary research focus at NCAD is called the Balanced Mix Design, which is a new era of asphalt mix design and acceptance system that can improve the durability and the longevity of asphalt pavements, but at the same time allow innovations using sustainable materials and the technologies.
A lot of people don't realize that asphalt's the #1 most recycled material in the country. It's not glass, it's not soda cans, it's asphalt. Because every time they rebuild your road or repave your road, they grind up the old road, and that has to go somewhere. Well, the good news is that we can use that material back in the road, not just as rock, but actually capitalizing on that glue or that black asphalt binder and reusing it in the new road. So using it for an equal good, which is really important. This lowers costs, this lowers emissions and environmental impacts. There's a lot of huge benefits.
Most of the research we do at NCAD start in the lab, where we do like lab testing to evaluate some new materials, new technologies, and explore new ideas for proof of concept.
One of the biggest challenges is the fact that we're dealing with a material that's actually very complex. When we mix it with different aggregate and different geological sources, it performs very differently. When we're talking about recycling and things like that, it completely changes those dynamics. And then we put it out on the road and we expect it to last 20 years. 20 years, that's like 2/3 of the typical career. And so one of the challenges we have is how do we study it and understand this complex material kind of on the microscopic level, the more macroscopic level, looking at it in the lab, making things and breaking things and living every 5-year-old's dream, and then actually scaling it up and doing accelerated loading to understand what's going to happen in a much tighter time frame. So the test track allows us in 2 to 3 years to simulate 5 to 10 years worth of loading.
The test track serves as the midway point or the bridge between real world and laboratory research. So this is an expensive way to test asphalt, but we can tie the lab results, which are generally quicker and cheaper. We can tie those results from the test track to the lab to the real world. So there are 4 quadrants around the track, the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, and every one has multiple sections on it. The tangents, or the straightaways behind me, this is the north tangent, have 13 sections. So the south tangent has 13 sections, the east and west curve both have 10 apiece, so there's 46 individual pavements here. Now, some of these have been subdivided into smaller sections, and including the off-ramp, we have 69 individual pavements here. I like to say that the track is a flexible pavement clearinghouse. If it has to do with asphalt, it's either here on the track now or it has been here in the past. So Monday is generally a quieter day as far as the fleet is concerned here on the track. We shut the fleet down, and that allows us time to do preventative maintenance on the fleet. They're driving 16 hours a day, 5 days a week, and so that adds up the miles very, very quickly. So we've got to do things like our oil changes and fluid changes, our tire rotations, do those things to keep the fleet running throughout the rest of the week. However, from the research side, it allows us a safe opportunity to come out here on the test track and do our weekly monitoring. Then we'll walk the track and we'll look for new distresses, new cracks, new rutting, raveling, that sort of thing. We can see these distresses with the naked eye or with the human eye much, much faster than some of the sensors we can run. The automated distress van can travel at highway speeds, and so it can do 70 miles an hour and do its data collection. And so that's safe for the driver. We don't have to shut down the lane and provide an inconvenience for the driving public. We can collect a lot of data off that van.
So because of all these advantages, the test track has been widely recognized as a national research proving ground for asphalt materials and asphalt technologies.